Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Whoa, last night was was a bit of a crazy night as Manchester City entered the bidding for Declan Rice. They made an official bid last night to West Ham to try and sign Declan Rice. Their bid, very intriguing bid actually, the same amount as Arsenal's, so £90 million. However, they're offering more money up front, £80 million up front, plus £10 million in add-ons. We don't know the breakdown of those add-ons at the moment, but significantly, they are offering more money up front. You might look on it and just say it's only £5 million because, of course, Arsenal offered £75 million plus £15 million in add-ons, but it's still £5 million more up front than what Arsenal have offered. So Manchester City have entered the race. There was some talk that maybe, they'd spoken to Declan Rice and Rice had sort of said to them that, listen, I want to go to Arsenal. I'm not really interested. So maybe that hasn't been why they put a bid in yet. But now that Gundogan's gone, he left yesterday for Barcelona. The bidders coming from Manchester City, they are serious. And as I said, even though it's the same amount as Arsenal's bid, it is slightly better because they're offering more money up front. Now, Arsenal are going to respond. It was David Ornstein who broke the news originally last night. He tweeted out and put it in The Athletic as well. Fabrizio Romano responded and said that Arsenal are going to respond to this bid. And we wait to see what the new offer from Arsenal is going to be. Obviously, they're going to have to top this bid. So we have now entered the stage of the bidding war. Remember, Arsenal put 2 bids in unopposed already, which were both rejected. West Ham are rubbing their hands with glee right now. They wanted a bidding war. They've got a bidding war. Who is going to win the war? Will it be Arsenal or will it be Manchester City? First of all, they got to get up towards that valuation of £100 million, which West Ham would like to get. And then secondly, where is Declan Rice going to choose? This one is rumbling on and on and on. Hopefully, we're going to get a decision on it this week. But yeah, it's getting hotter, this one. And it's really intriguing to see which way it goes. Massive, massive deal being done at the moment. If Arsenal are unable to get Declan Rice, will they turn to Youssef Fofana? Youssef Fofana, 24 years old, French international, plays for Monaco, has been valued at around about £30 million by Monaco. According to L'Equipe, the French publication, they're saying that if Arsenal can reach that valuation, they would be able to get Youssef Fofana, a very big physical midfield player who can play defensive midfield. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder as well. And as I said, Monaco prepared to let him leave if they get £30 million. He was a really integral part of their campaign last year, Fofana. He's got 10 caps for France as well. So that is an alternative for Arsenal if they can't get Declan Rice. And Arsenal said to have made inquiries regarding him. The sensible thing to do right now, they're in a bidding war with Man City. They've got to be thinking about alternatives if, and I say if, the Declan Rice deal doesn't come off. More bad news really for Liverpool, for Arsenal yesterday. And that's that Liverpool have entered the race to sign Romeo Lavia. Now, there's been lots of talk and linking Arsenal very heavily with Lavia. They've said to be the team that's out front in the race to get him. Lavia, according to some reports, has even agreed terms with Arsenal. But news broke yesterday, and I think, again, that was Fabrizio Romano, that Liverpool have now entered the race to sign Lavia. They've made inquiries about him. Liverpool, they've been chasing other targets for the midfield, which have not really materialised, and now they are turning to Romeo Lavia. Southampton, of course, are looking for around about £40 million plus for Romeo Lavia. And again, just like West Ham, they will welcome a bidding war. Of course, Southampton now in the Championship, the more money they can get, the better. They've got players sitting at their club on very high wages. You know, financially, it's not great when you're in the Championship. So as much money as they could possibly get will suit them. So Lavia now is going to have something to decide when Arsenal, you know, if they can complete some of these other deals they're doing. But he's got Liverpool now interested in him as well, and he will have a choice to decide. The one advantage, of course, that Arsenal will have over a Liverpool is that they got Champions League football. Liverpool don't. Not to say that Liverpool can't get back to Champions League football, but this year they definitely don't have it. So maybe that's an advantage. And listen, it is an exciting project at the moment at Arsenal, but it looks like another war is going to be raging for another player that Arsenal are after. This is the thing, when you're going for these caliber of players, I keep saying it. When you're going for these caliber of players, all the top teams are interested in them. All the top teams are after them. And then you've got a job. You've got to, first of all, come up with the money. That's the first thing. Then you've got to convince the player that, you know, you're better off coming to Arsenal than going to one of these other really massive clubs. So this is what Edu and Mikel Arteta are up against this season. We're now dining at the real big top table. And, you know, if they can get some of these deals across the line, it's going to look really, really good for Arsenal. A deal that's looking good is the deal for Jurrien Timber. Much better news on this one. Arsenal have put in another bid. Jurrien Timber has agreed personal terms and only wants Arsenal, according to reports. Again, I caution everybody. Remember Mudryk? I always remember that. But he wants to come to Arsenal. And there's a lot of talk that Arsenal would like to get this deal concluded this week as well. So positive news on the Jurrien Timber deal, and hopefully Arsenal can get that over the line this week. And also a deal that could be announced imminently is the one for Kai Havertz. Pictures even leaked online yesterday of Kai Havertz posing in an Arsenal shirt, getting his official pictures taken at Arsenal. A medical's been completed as well. It's only now for the announcement to be done, and Kai Havertz will become an Arsenal player. £65 million. He would have cost, that's 50 million plus 15 in add-ons. That deal's done. And Kai Havertz set to sign a 5-year contract at Arsenal. So again, positive news for Arsenal. Kai Havertz coming in as the first signing. Another player that Arsenal are reportedly looking at is Xavi Simon of PSV. I've spoken about him last week. Talented player. It was brilliant when they played against us, PSV, in the Europa League. Had a great season last year for them as well. 22 goals and 12 assists across all competitions. I mean, that is a magnificent record. Formerly started his career at Barcelona. Then he was at PSG. And then PSG, very, very smart, sold him to PSV, but they inserted this buyback clause of £5.1 million, which they can activate come this July. The only one thing about it is that with that clause, the player has to agree to go back to PSG. So that's in there as well. So Xavi Simons is still going to have a big say over where he goes. But lot of teams around Europe sensing now that they could get Xavi Simons on the cheap. And one of those is Arsenal. He's a really, really talented player. It's going to boil down a lot to the player himself. He's obviously wanting to play regular football. He didn't have that at PSG. He got that at PSV, played regularly, and he did the business. Now, if he came to Arsenal, would he play regularly? That is the thing. And then there is one other thing that possibly could sway it, and that's his agent. He's looked after by Darren Dean. Darren Dean, of course, is the son of the ex-Arsenal deputy chairman, David Dean. So could that sort of sway things a bit Arsenal's way? I know Darren Dean's a big Arsenal supporter as well. So you never know. He's a really, really talented player, but I just sense that would he come to Arsenal if he wants to play week in, week out? Would he get that sort of guarantee at Arsenal? As I said, certainly a really talented player, can play anywhere across that midfield, and he can play on the wings as well. He's a very, very good player. PSV, by the way, also want to get him tied down to a long-term contract as well. So it's, without that buyback clause. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Xavi Simons. And of course, we know that Arsenal, despite having their big targets, they're also looking at, exceptional talents that become available. And certainly Xavi Simons falls into that category. So lots of things happening. We will keep you up to date, just like we did yesterday with all the breaking news around the transfers. We did a breaking news when that bid came in last night for Declan Rice. Fully expect Arsenal to possibly put in another bid today or tomorrow. If they do, we will break it here. So turn your notifications on and subscribe here to AFTV, and you will not miss a thing regarding transfers. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.